Welcome everyone to our Sunday Dharma service. Is anyone joining us for the first time? Welcome to all. In this ever-changing weather or seasons, we find ourselves reflecting on what we can learn from the nature. So we will practice today yoga practice, seated meditation, and chanting meditation, and we'll also listen to the Dharma talk from Revenue. So we will begin our yoga practice guided by Karen. Please all rise.
Good morning, everyone. So let's just relax. Relax the shoulders. Relax the arms, shake them out a little bit, and then drop into your knees. Shake them out, shake your legs. So, with your feet hip distance apart, bring the hands together in front of the heart center, soften at your knees, and drop down a little bit as you inhale. Reach all the way up as tall as you can. Lengthen the side body, lengthen the back body. And then exhale, just drop into your knees and bring your hands to the tops of your thighs. And then inhale again, come all the way up, squeeze the glutes, press the hips slightly forward. Exhale, come back down again, hands on the thighs or knees, look down at the floor. One last time, inhale all the way up. And this time, fold over the legs, exhale, drop down, bend the knees. Maybe the hands reach the floor, maybe not. Everyone will be different. And then take a breath here before you rise. Inhale and exhale. And then find your feet, press them into the earth. Inhale all the way up again, as tall as you can. This time, exhale, twist to the right. Bring the right hand behind you. Drop both shoulders away from the ears. Left hand reaches towards the opposite hip. Inhale, come back up again, reach up. Exhale, gently twist the other way. Inhale, come back to center. And exhale, fold over the legs one more time. Maybe it feels a little easier, maybe not. Come halfway up here, hands on tops of the thighs. Roll the shoulders back, straighten your back. And then inhale, press into your feet, come all the way up. Take the hands behind the back, fingertips facing down. Roll the shoulders back and just gently press the hips forward. Drop the chin towards the sternum. Press into the front body, or rather open the front body. And inhale, come back up again. Relax the arms, bring the arms out to the side. We're just going to fold the fingers towards the back, and then roll the shoulders back, palms come up. Roll the shoulders forward, roll the shoulders back. One more time forward, one more time back. And then relax the arms, interlace the fingers behind you, step the right foot forward, standing on a train track. Roll the shoulders back, maybe lift the arms behind you, open the chest. You can look where the wall meets the ceiling. Inhale, and on the exhale, plug into that front foot and the back foot and fold over that front leg. Maybe raise the arms up behind you if that feels good. Draw that front hip back, the hip of the right leg. And then inhale, come back up again. Release the hands, step the foot back. Hands on your hips, feet are wide. Circle at the hip joint. Circle around. Circle around the other way, just becoming loose in the body. And then step the opposite foot forward. Bring the hands behind you again, either interlace or reach for your wrists or your forearms. Roll the shoulders back. Inhale, exhale, fold forward. No Noticing sensation behind the legs. Breathing in and breathing out. And find your feet again. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Release your hands, step your feet a little bit wider. Turn the toes out and the heels in. Drop down, open the knees. Maybe use the hands to press the knees back slightly. And just go ahead and see if you can lower a little bit more. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, come halfway up. Bring your arms into cactus arms. Drop the shoulders, spread the palms. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards each other and breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, push into the floor, bring yourself back up again. Now go ahead and bring the toes forward, the heels back. We're going to drop into that right knee and extend the left leg. Interlace the fingers, press into that knee. Notice the sensation in the inside of that left leg. Breathe in, inhale up. Change sides. Exhale down. Take an inhale and exhale here. Inhale, come up. We'll do that one more time on each side, dropping down. Inhale up, a little faster, dropping down. Inhale up. Beautiful. Heel toe your feet or hop your feet forward. Step the left foot forward, bend the knee, step the right foot back, come onto the toes of the right foot. Again, you're standing on your train tracks. We'll do a little bit of a high lunge. Inhale, arms up alongside the ears. Breathe. A lot of balancing going on here. Exhale the arms down, interlace the fingers, press into that knee, extend out over that leg, and reach that right leg behind you. Breathe. And inhale yourself back up again. Step back, other side. Step the right foot forward, left foot back onto your toes. Bend the front knee. Inhale, arms up alongside the ears. Spread the palms. Smile. Ooh, exhale, interlace your fingers. Notice how much you have to work to keep the balance here. Press into that knee as you extend out over. Breathe. And inhale up. Woohoo. Feet back to hip distance apart. One last pose. Soften your knees. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. This time bring the fingertips of the right hand to the floor or your foot or your ankle and twist open to the left. You can bend that right knee. Breathe. Come out of that twist and change sides. Bend the left knee, twist open the other way. Breathe. Come back. Last one. Hands together, drop down into your seat. Press the palms towards each other. Twist to the left, elbow to knee. Take a breath here. Come back to neutral. Twist the other way. Stack the elbows. Come back to center. And root to rise. Inhale. Press into the floor. Reach all the way up. Exhale, hands down the center line. Thank you.
Behold the circular image before you, symbolizing the ultimate truth of neither arising nor ceasing, the principle of cause and effect. It's Ilwon-sang, which is enshrined within our minds and all things in the universe. If we were to describe the content of Ilwon-sang, it can be referred to as the fourfold grace. So as a gesture of reverence, we offer our prostrations through 4 bows to the Dharmakaya Buddha fourfold grace. Please bring your palms together and we'll do standing bow. We bow to the grace of heaven and earth. We bow to the grace of parents. We bow to the grace of fellow beings. We bow to the grace of laws. Now turn to your neighbor and greet each other. Let's start with a session of seated meditation. Please take a moment to get comfortably settled on your cushion or in a chair. Pete Won-Seung-Yong will lead us through the method of seated meditation.
The method of sitting meditation is simple and easy. Sit comfortably on the floor or in a chair. Breathe in, grab all your tension, and breathe it out. Open up your chest and heart. Stretch up tall and align your spine from your neck to your tailbone. Relax your shoulders and arms, and allow your hands to rest on your knees. Bring your attention to your breath. As you exhale, release all mental and physical tension. Invite your attention to abide in your chi energy field, which is called Tanjan. This is located 2 inches below your navel and is the power center for your breathing. Open your eyes and gaze downward over the end of your nose into the floor. Keep your mouth closed and allow the tip of your tongue to rest gently against the roof of your mouth. When your mind is concentrated and calm, pure and clear saliva may gather in the mouth. You may swallow it. Relax your facial muscles and notice your gentle smile. If your face or body begins to itch, do not scratch. This is just a sign of the energy circulating in your body. Simply note the itching and let it pass. If your legs ache unbearably, you may change position very slowly and quietly so that you maintain a calm stillness and do not interrupt others. When thoughts arise in your mind, do not be discouraged or disturbed by them. Simply focus on your breathing without reacting to or playing with those thoughts. Recognize them as thoughts. They will disappear by themselves. And remember, keep bringing your awareness back to your Danjan breathing center. If you continue practicing meditation for a long period of time, you will rest in the realm of samadhi, deep meditation in which the mind is calm, concentrated, perfectly focused and at peace, with no distinction between self and others, time and place. We are grateful to sit quietly together, finding the still point within. May we be here now, aware of our ever calm and alert spirit.
Wiggle your fingers. Stretch your legs out. Massage your knees. Rub your palms to make it. Massage your eyes, nose, around your lips. Pull your ear. Now, let us gather our minds for chanting practice. Please turn to page 4 and we will chant the Ilwon-sang vow and Heart Sutra. Ilwon-sang vow. Ilwon is the realm of samadhi beyond words and speech, the gateway, birth and death, transcending being and non-being, the origin of heaven and earth, parents, fellow beings, and laws, the true nature of all Buddhas, enlightened master, unenlightened people, and sentient beings, one manifest as both permanence and impermanence, viewed as permanent. One unfolds into infinite world that is ever abiding, spontaneous, just as it is viewed as impermanence, unfolds into infinite words through the cycle of formation, duration, decay, and extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, and death of all beings, according to how we use our minds and bodies. In the 4 forms of birth, we transform through the 6 realms of existence, progressing or regressing with grace, arising from harm or harm from grace. Therefore we unawakened beings vow to practice wholeheartedly, modeling ourselves after Ilwon-sang, the Dharma, Kaya, Buddha, by cultivating our minds and body, deeply knowing human affairs and universal principles thoroughly, and using our minds and bodies skillfully, thus progressing rather than regressing, and receiving grace rather than harm, until we attain the great empowerment of Ilwon and become one with the nature of Ilwon. Heart Sutra. The Bodhisattva of great compassion, when deeply practicing Prajna Paramita, realized that all 5 aggregates are empty, and thus became free from all suffering and distress. So Shariputra, form does not differ from emptiness. Emptiness does not differ from form. appear or disappear, are not tainted or pure, do not increase or decrease in emptiness, no form, no sensation, no perceptions, no impulses, no consciousness, no eyes, no ears, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no touch, no object of mind, no realm of eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, or mind, consciousness, no ignorance, nor extinction of ignorance, no old age and death, nor extinction of them, no suffering, no cause of suffering, no cessation of suffering, no path, no wisdom, no attainment, with nothing to attain. The Bodhisattva relies on prajna paramita, therefore the mind has no hindrance. Without any hindrance, no fears exist, free from delusion. One dwells in nirvana. All Buddhas of the past, present, and future rely on prajna paramita and attain supreme enlightenment. Therefore know that prajna paramita is the great mantra, is the great enlightening mantra, is the unsurpassed and unequaled mantra, which is able to eliminate all suffering. This is true, not false. So proclaim the prajna paramita mantra, which says gone, gone, gone beyond, far beyond, now awakened. Gate, gate, para, gate, parasam, gate, bodhisvaha, gate, gate, para, gate, parasam, gate, bodhisvaha, gate, gate, para, gate, parasam, gate, bodhisvaha. I'm delighted to listen to the Dharma talk from Reverend Yu for a long time today. The title of his talk today is Right Enlightenment and Right Action. Please join your palms together and warmly welcome him.
Good morning, everyone. Four great principles are the direction of practice for one Buddhist, and also this is the goal of one Buddhist order. So, right enlightenment and the right practice. Right practice or right conduct action, there are various translations. The awareness of grace and the requiring of grace, practical application of the Buddha Dharma, selfless service to the public. These four essential one Buddhist teaching is the direction how we lead a mindful life in our daily practice. The first one, right practice and the right action. Ellen, would you read that first thing? Yeah. Right.
when we use our 6 sense organs, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind.
Okay, thank you. One day, my friends went to an honeymoon. During the honeymoon, he slightly argued his wife, and that argument became a little heated, and he eventually yelled to her, and which was very shocking to her newlywed wife, since she was very sensitive. So it happened under the full moon. Even though they married for more than 20 years, whenever she sees the full moon, that kind of a memory arises, and she got a little upset. When something happens, when good thing or bad thing happens, many times become embedded in our consciousness. And when we encounter some circumstances, then that karmic seed start to sprout and grow. Think about our anger, disappointment, or jealousy, self-pity, pride, conceit, depression, and so on that arise in our mind. What is the ground when these various thoughts or emotions arise? Just like all the trees and the weeds grow from the ground, all these thoughts or emotions arise from the ground, so-called our sense of self, on our idea of ego entity. Just like our earth revolves around the sun, our thoughts or emotions or these kind of waves that arise on the ocean revolves around I, my, me, our sense of self. So what does that mean, being enlightened to the truth, being awakened to the ultimate reality? Just as we chanted the Heart Sutra, 5 aggregates, our body, sensations, perceptions, impulses, and consciousness, or our thoughts, emotions, or kind of mental functions are dependently arising, that arise under a certain conditions and constantly disappearing under another conditions. There is no entity behind, even though many people identify themselves with their own self of a self. You can call that my soul or whatever things. Yeah. So our sense of a self is just a mental construct or illusion. When we clearly see in that nature, the ground of all our suffering and distress will disappear. That's why Buddhism is the path of enlightenment. It is the path to sever the root of all sufferings. So just like the first sentence shows, we are to be enlightened to model ourselves after the truth of ill one, the mind self. Mind self, the awakened mind. We are realized to our true mind, or original mind is awakening. Mind still is a Zen expression Why do they use the word seal or stamp? When you stamp a seal on some document, what does that mean? It means you approved that this document is authenticated. So, mind seal means the true mind, our original mind, that's approved by the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Your awakening is approved by your teacher. Some people think a person, for example, let's just say some Zen priest, have some spiritual capacity. He can read other people's mind. He can see the past lives of his friend and so on. Some people think that, wow, he's a awakened person. But actually, enlightenment has nothing to do with that kind of spiritual capacity. Enlightenment is seeing into our original nature, which is more like the wisdom aspect. So, whether a person is awakened, whether you are enlightened or not, it should be approved by some realized teacher. It's very, very important thing. So, when you stamp the seal, then you're an awakened person. Yeah. Verse 22. Would you read? Yeah. Yeah. Not. Yeah. Ryan will read for us.
After listening to Samsung's lecture on the principle of the nature, the founding master said, "Today, while I was in the state between sleep and wakefulness, I dreamt that I received a wish-fulfilling gem, which I gave to Samson. After receiving it, Samson swallowed it and was immediately transfigured into an entirely different person. Now that I have heard Samson's lecture on the principle of the nature, my spirit is refreshed." The founding master continued, "The Dharma cannot be transmitted with others simply out of affection for them. Only by opening one's wisdom eye may one receive the Dharma. A dragon must attain the wish-fulfilling gem in order to work wonders. Practitioners must see into their own nature and practice diligently to attain spiritual ability."
Okay, thank you. Dharma transmission. Shakyamuni transmitted his Dharma to Mahakashapa, from Mahakashapa to Ananda and so on, to the sixth patriarch. The teacher, as a symbol of Dharma transmission, gave his Dharma heir the robe and the begging bowl that Shakyamuni Buddha used. But actually, transmission, that's just a symbol. The transmission is more like a mind to mind, heart to heart transmission. After awakening, what happens? Some people think enlightenment is identical with attaining Buddhahood or attaining nirvana or supreme enlightenment. That's a very much misleading idea. So let's read all together, number 6. Yeah. A student asked the Sota-san, this Just like the analogy of our founding master, awakening is having a great model, a sample of a calligraphy that the wonderful calligraphy master wrote. After you attained that great sample, you have to practice. You have to practice again and again until you finally attain Buddhahood. So that practice is called the follow-up practice. Follow-up practice. So our founding master said, the reason a person cultivating the way endeavors to see original nature is to know the original realm of our true nature, and to use the mind and body without fault, like that realm, in order to achieve a perfect Buddhahood. If one only tries to see one's nature, but makes no effort to attain Buddhahood, that would be of a little use, like an axe that's well crafted, but made of lead. So, enlightenment is just like a baby is born. A baby is a human being, but the baby is not strong enough to use his body and mind. Follow-up practice is to strengthen, feeding the baby, let the baby exercise until he grows a adult. So our third head Dharma master, Mr. Desan said, but after awakening, your practice would become very different. It's going to another dimension. After the enlightenment, your practice would become very natural and very effortless. It's just like wearing clothes made from suede. You can easily brush off the dirt. The dirt means our wandering thoughts or our unwholesome desire. Because of the past habits, even to the awakened person, that kind of thought, desire arise, but immediately he can reflect his original nature and shake off all those dirts. Then, after awakening, what is the criteria of our practice? How can we conduct our daily life? It is the next sentence. We can practice and act perfectly without the bias, attachment, excessiveness, or deficiency when we use our six sense organs. Practice or live without the bias or attachment, without the excessiveness or deficiency is the way the Buddha or enlightened masters lives. If we live in that way, we not only complete our follow-up practice, but also we can enter the door of enlightenment. The first, act or practice without the bias or without attachment. In older days in China, there are a lot of battles, wars between nations. What day would be the best to conquer the enemy? Many times the Chinese kings had a counselor from Buddhist masters or some hermit or ascetics. One day one Chinese king asked to his counselor, is tomorrow a great auspicious day to us? The master replied, if tomorrow is very auspicious to us, what about to them? All kinds of bias or delusions arise from our sense of self. For example, one old lady was invited on Christmas Day in her daughters. She discovered her son-in-law do all the chores from the cooking to cleaning, etc. Whereas her daughter had a very relaxed time. Then she might think she married a wonderful husband. The next year, she was invited in her son. The son did all those chores. Her daughter-in-law did not lift a finger during the Christmas holiday. Then she might think, my son married to a wrong person, even though the same guy helped in a very similar situation. All kind of a bias originate from our sense of self. I, mine, me, mine. How can we get rid of those bias or attachment to have the liberated life? If we, in our daily life, let go of our egoistic thoughts and actions, we can enter the door of liberation or awakening. Many people during the time of Jesus that they waited for Messiah, the Savior. Many people thought John the Baptist is the Savior. And many people gathered around John. One day John said that the axe is already at the root of the trees, and every tree that does not produce good fruit will be cut down and thrown into fire. It means that the judgment day. What should we do? His student asked. John replied, anyone who has 2 shirts should share the one who has none, and anyone who has food should do the same. If we let go of our some personal thing, think about how many unnecessary things you have in your living rooms or garage. We can share that to the people who really need that. Our action is far more powerful than our words or thoughts. Do you know why when you meditate, have a lot of wandering thoughts and drifting ideas? Shakyamuni Buddha, in his case, when he meditated, after he left the palace, he could very easily absorb in meditation. What's the difference from him or from us? In his case, he already let go of all those things. He already did not have any attachment, secular attachment. So that's why they say great enlightenment follows great renunciation. That's why Dharma practice is the first of the 6 paramitas: sharing, generosity, letting go of our personal possession. To attain enlightenment, this is a very important practice. Not just letting go of our some material things, as much as important thing is letting go of our opinions. We see a lot of people who really stick to his own idea, never back down. Hold fast to his own views. One day, one student asked to our second head Dharma master, Master Jungsan, how can I cultivate virtue? How can I cultivate virtue? Mr. Jungsan replied, virtue is created when you yield. When you let go of your own ideas. Many times who's right and wrong, it does not matter. When you let go of your own ideas, you weaken your sense of self, and you are closing closer and closer to the door of enlightenment. Not just getting wrong with the people around yourself. And without the excessiveness or deficiency. After Buddha left the palace in the Himalayas for 6 years, he performed all kinds of ascetic practice, but he could not attain great enlightenment. One day, he happened to hear a sitar prayers teacher instructing to his students. When the string is too tight, it will snap. When the string is too loose, it will not play. In the middle lies the harmony. So after he happened to hear the sitar player's words, he let go of his ascetic practice and eventually attained great enlightenment. When he walked the middle path. The middle path is the path to attain the way, and the middle path is also the ultimate reality. Middle path is the way. In Korea, the biggest island is Jeju Island. On Jeju Island, there is some female divers. We call that Haenyeo. Their occupation, what they do is go very deep into the ocean and get some seashell and so on. So they could hold their breath for a long time. After drawing a breath, they reach the bottom of the ocean and pick up the seashells, and they come to the surface to breathe. Sometimes when they go to the surface, they happen to see some expensive seashell, like abalone. It's very expensive in Korea or Japan. Then some female diver swim back to the bottom of the ocean in order to take that seashell. Abalone, although they are very strongly stick to the rocks, it takes time to detach that seashell. Since they hold their breath for a long time, sometimes they pass out into the water and they die, even though they are very good swimmer. So even though they spot something very valuable to them, then they need to let go of those valuable things. This is how we are supposed to live, how we are supposed to practice. One day, one Chinese man would like to become a great master in archery. So he searched for a great master in archery and asked, I would like to become your student. He asked, in order to become a wonderful master in archery, how many years it takes? Then the master replied, it takes usually for 10 years. That the man said, I'm a married person. I have 3 children to feed. I will do my best. I will work day and night. In that case, how many years it would take? The master replied, in that case, to you, it will take 20 years. hasty mind is the biggest obstacle for all practitioners. So when we live without the excessiveness or deficiency should be a great criterion. So we need to practice and study scripture to attain the enlightenment. At the same time, if we live, practice without excessiveness or deficiency, or without bias and attachment, we can enter the door of great enlightenment as well. So it goes in both ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Yu. Now we will recite the essential dharmas of daily practice on page 6. Essential dharmas of daily practice 1. The mind is originally free from disturbance, but disturbances arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the equanimity of our true nature by letting go of disturbances. 2. The mind is originally free from delusion, but delusions arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the wisdom of our true nature by letting go of delusions. 3. The mind is originally free from wrongdoing, but wrongdoings arise in response to sensory conditions. Let us restore the precepts of our true nature by letting go of wrongdoings. 4. Let us replace disbelief, greed, laziness, and ignorance with belief, zeal, questioning, and dedication. 5. Let us turn resentment into gratitude. 6. Let us turn dependency into self-reliance. 7. Let us turn reluctance to learn into willingness to learn well. 8. Let us turn reluctance to teach into willingness to teach well. 9. Let us turn lack of public spirit into eagerness to serve the good of all. Few announcements. I'd like to introduce to one of our retreats, Embracing Change, a resilience building meditation retreat. It's a silent meditation retreat. And starting from August 30th, we have that retreat, silent retreat. And this retreat, guided by Reverend Yu and Reverend Do-Yan from Manhattan Temple, emphasizes cultivating resilience. So if you're interested, you can pick up this flyer in the foyer or visit our website. And after a few weeks of break, we resumed our Thursday Dharma class. At 7 p.m. every Thursday, we will delve deep into our scripture and the book, the principles for training the mind. So if you're interested, meet with Reverend Ginger. And after next week's Sunday Dharma service, we will have our monthly 교화단 gathering. For those with Dharma names or anyone interested in closely engaging with the One Dharma Temple community. So it will be an opportunity to study together, explore growth directions, and deepen our connection. So please stay after next Sunday's Dharma service if you're interested. Page 9, Morning Prayer Song. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, I begin a new day in your presence. Today full of health and with peace of mind, may I walk along the path of the Buddha. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. I begin a new day with your grace. Today, gratefully and with gentle words, may I live in harmony with all those I meet. Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace. I begin a new day with compassion.
Today, making the world a more loving place. May
I do all that I can for one world. Thank you all for joining us today, both online and here in the Dharma Hall. This concludes our Sunday Dharma service.